Alright friends, we're making a Mario tier list. Whenever it comes to tier lists, there's always a few different lights you can look at it in. Is something good for casual? Is there something good for speedrunning? Two very different conversations. You can see we have all the options to us, but I put the 18 mainline Mario games up here, and we're gonna try and rank them, you know, straightforward, objective, casual game tier list that's not about speedrunning or anything crazy. I guess I'll go in chronological order. That's the order they're already in. We start with Super Mario Bros. Man, this is already too hard. I give up. I don't know where to put OG Super Mario Bros. Because it's like, boom, super influential game, huge for the video game industry. But then it's like, it's kind of simple and like, it's not that crazy. So I think we'll land it right around a B. I think that's pretty fair. Lost Levels. Objectively, this game is not that great. Like, it's not for everyone, but also this is my tier list and things that I look for in a fun game. Like, just because it's Mario and it's hard doesn't mean like, oh, this is a crappy Mario game, it's a terrible game. I don't know. I'll probably throw it like there for now. Maybe down here. It doesn't have a lot of replayability, honestly. You kind of beat this game just to say you beat it, and then that's all. Super Mario Bros. 2, this game is sick. I actually didn't like it that much growing up, but anytime I go back, it's just such a fun game to mess around in. I just learned there's an item in this game, like yesterday. I learned there was a clock in this game that freezes time. Dude, I just didn't even know that existed. There's a clock in this game that freezes time. Like, there's a lot to this game. It probably B tier above SMB1 because it's more complex. There's a lot of level routes. There's multiple characters you can play as. It's a really good game. I know there's always the conversation of, is it even like a Mario game or whatever? But all the people having that conversation probably don't know that it's literally made by Mario Team. While in development, they were testing it and said, no, it needs to be more like Mario. So they added like Koopa shells and stars and stuff. So it's a Mario game. Super Mario Bros. 3. As far as 2D platformers go and just the general premise of this, we're probably throwing it in A tier. It has tons of power-ups, which is so sick. A very replayable game because of the warp whistles. I think there's an argument for S tier. My personal opinion, A tier. That's just the way it is. I think swimming in this game sucks. I think a lot of the auto-scrolling levels are not great. A few of them are like fine, but there's a whole bunch. I don't know. Super Mario Land. It's great for like what it was on the Game Boy, right? But yeah, it's at the end of the day, it didn't age well. It's fine, but for the mainline Mario list, something's gotta go at the bottom and it's down there. Just gotta say it. Super Mario World's hard. I think I like Super Mario World more than 3, just in general. Again, it has lots of different paths, even more than 3. It doesn't have as many power-ups, but like, it's just so charming and great. It's probably S tier. If a 2D Mario game's making S tier, it's probably Mario World in my opinion. But in general, I think the 3D Mario games are going to dominate up higher and then 2D will be lower, because that's just how it is. Super Mario Land 2. This game's a lot better than Land, obviously. It's like a whole different world. Maybe even better than SMB1. Maybe even better than SMB2. Like, honestly, it's really good. It, like, the spin attack and the carrot, like, it's a really good game. Top of B tier, IMO. It is time for SM64. This is a hard game to rank objectively or, like, for a casual tier list. This game is made so incredibly well. There is so much depth to it, but you can very understandably know that a lot of people playing it will have issues with the camera, they'll have issues with the controls. Now, if I have to really think about this and consider how to rank it, this is my tier list. And I would much rather a game that's more complex and someone has to tell me, oh, so there's like, this is how diving works. Like, this is the difference between diving and kicking in this game. Or like, there is a Mario Cam, you can do Mario Cam C down, that makes the camera better. It's there in the game for you to know about. It's not like it's not there and the camera's always terrible, or like, it's just random how the movement works. If you can learn that, then it's S tier, like, just objectively, right? It's so fun just to like, do what you want to in it. Like, just sliding down a slope and like jumping off a slope with all the speed you can get in this game They don't let you do that in a lot of them, and it's just like so fun. I do understand it can be a bit clunky, is the way people like to talk about it, but dude, a lot of games that are harder to move in have the higher skill ceiling, they have like better potential, and even though it's a casual tier list, that still factors in because it's part of the game. It's Mario Sunshine. Now this one's a bit of a different story. It has all of those movement options that are part of the game in a casual experience, but they're kind of jank and like not super polished. A lot of the levels are really weird. You have so many shines that are just infamous for being really stupid. Pachinko, Mud Boat, Lily Pad, getting the Yoshi over to the Lily Pad level. It's a great game. I think it's gotta be ranked above these, but also it's so weird and unpolished, and you just die randomly, and it's so strange. All the bosses are bizarre. I think I'm gonna put it here, because if I have to say what's like an objectively better game, it goes above these, just because there's so much to do. But man, it falls well below the others in terms of polish and just like good gameness. It's time for New Super Mario Bros. DS. I think this game's super good. I think this game's reputation is now tarnished by a million new Super Mario Bros. Games coming after it. Finding the secret worlds in this game is super satisfying too, because you have to beat the boss and then see, oh, there was like this tiny tunnel. I need to beat the boss as Mini Mario, and then you figure that out. Like, that's a really satisfying moment. Finding all of the star coins and unlocking all the paths is really satisfying in this game. It's just really well made, especially after like there wasn't a lot of 2D Mario and then they came up with New Super Mario Bros. This game really nailed it. This one could maybe go up to A actually. Maybe like low A. Because when I think about it compared to SMB3, it's really good. Like it has wall jumping. The levels are designed really well. We might go low A actually. Super Mario Galaxy. This game is fantastic, especially when we're talking about casual game tier list. Like, it's gotta be up here. Maybe right here. I think the biggest flaw of Mario Galaxy is the levels themselves are pretty linear. Like, it doesn't have the 3D Mario feel of 64 or Odyssey, which do it best in my opinion, of like, here's the world you're in, go whatever direction you want. Dumb motion controls. They're not dumb motion controls. All you have to do is shake. Like, you're not like trying to make Link swing a sword exactly 45 degrees or some garbage. And yeah, Galaxy is like one of the most polished games I've ever played. One thing you might not know about Galaxy motion controls, you can spin with Wii Remote or Nunchuck, but if you're Mario, you'll go higher off the spin with Wii Remote, and if you're Luigi, you'll go higher off the spin with Nunchuck. Is that not just bizarre? Like, why even why? So weird. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. They kept the new super thing. It's stupid to use it over and over, but at this point it wasn't so bad. Adding 4 players is really good, and they added some really cool power-ups like Penguin and Propeller, and there's Yoshi. Man, this is where they added the ability to ride on Yoshi, like suck up your friends and spit them out into a hole. Like, that's just good stuff. Honestly, like, it's a really good game. I guess when I played it, like, I thought it was this good when I was 13 or whatever, but I'm different now than then. I don't know. It's hard to say. If I'm being totally honest with you, this is what I meant at the beginning by like, there's objective tier list and then there's like, this is just my favorite game tier list. What makes decisions hard on these is when you already have some on the board and you're like, this game's kind of here, but then like, it's probably better than... Like, I feel like this game is worse than Sunshine, but better than 3, so, like, how does the list make any sense? Whatever. I'm just gonna move on. Galaxy 2. I like Galaxy 1 more. The lack of a hub world really bothers me personally. Okay, obviously it has the little ship, but, like, I just don't like the ship. The game is even more linear than Galaxy 1. Like, this is, like, the most linear 3D Mario game, which really, like... bothers me, I guess. But still, it's Galaxy, which is super polished, good, clean gameplay, so that basically gets it A tier all on its own. I almost don't even want to put it there. Like, especially because it's my tier list. I will say I have some nostalgia goggles for all the others, but not this one. So that's probably influencing it. But how linear it is actually really bothers me. Okay, I hate when you say 3D Mario games and then people include, like, 3D Land and World are a different conversation than that. Just call those, like, you know, the other ones. 3D Land, 3D World. We need a different word. They're not 2.5D either. Just never say that again. Speaking of those games, Super Mario 3D Land. I might just slap it there, but it's better than the... Okay, these gotta go down. Like, C tier has to exist. When you're first playing it, you're just like, dude, this is a cool game. Especially when it first came out, it was the first game of its kind. But it's hard to rank this game in hindsight because you just look at some of the levels and you're like, nothing's really going on here. Like, I'm just running straight along like a bunch of falling donut blocks for like 10 seconds. Like, that's not that great. And then there's a ton of levels like that. It's just like random like swinging platforms or like spinning block platforms. But other levels are super good. So I don't know. We'll just leave it right there. New Super Mario Bros. 2. Easily the worst game. I don't even care if it has way more content and therefore should be above Super Mario Land. This game sucks, okay? You can hate me if you like this game. Obviously, it's good in general. Like, if you compare it to a bunch of Wii shovelware, it's way better. But for Mario, oh my gosh, this game is lifeless, soulless. It has no charm. Even all the sound effects sound like they recorded previous game sound effects through like a 2015 cell phone. This way. I don't know what its problem is, but this game is just like the most rehashed thing Nintendo's ever made. And the thing the game is supposed to be about, where there's moments of like huge coin explosions and you're just getting a ton, those moments are awesome. But they like withhold them from you by making the golden fire flower really rare. And when you finish a level with gold flower, you don't get to keep it. And it's really frustrating. Like, just let me get the coins that you made the game to let me get. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think I've insulted the game enough. If you guys like the games, like, it's fine. You probably think Mario 64 is garbage, and it's whatever. It's my favorite game of all of them, so. Okay, New Super Mario Bros. U. Okay, I didn't play this originally. I only played it on Deluxe when the Switch came out. And it was interesting because for a long time, I'd been saying, they're making New Super Mario everything. They need to make New Super Mario World, a game where, like, it has a cool overworld, like Mario World, that's all connected, and they need to bring back the cape power-up and different colors of Yoshis. And then when I finally played this, it was kind of like that. It has different Yoshis, and the overworld is kind of connected. It doesn't have the cape power-up, or it doesn't have keys that you put in keyholes. Like, that kind of stuff is really good in Mario World, and like no other game has really had that. Yeah, overall this game kind of suffers the same as the other one. It's just so tainted by the fact that the other ones exist. If it was the only one you ever played, maybe you'd rank it higher, but the fact that the other ones exist on this list really drags it down. I'm leaving it below Lost Levels because I feel like this game has the unique element of this game is supposed to be challenging, and that's like the whole point of the game, and you can have fun beating it because beating it is satisfying, but this game doesn't really have anything going for it like that. Okay, a couple left. Super Mario 3D World. I think this game is actually incredible, which is weird because on my first playthrough of it, I thought it was okay. I actually was like, this game has no memorable levels. And I don't know how I thought that back then, because now, when I've recently replayed it, this game's levels are great. They're way better than 3D Land, and you get to play as 4, secretly 5, characters. So, like, this game's just sick. Either top of A or bottom of S tier. Amazing music. This game takes so much of what makes the other games good, like the multiple characters of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but they actually have different attributes. And now, especially if you include the Switch version where you can play online with friends, like, this game's just money. I'm gonna throw it bottom of S. Final game. I might have to rearrange because I have like too many things in S, but this belongs up here, obviously. The only problem with it is that it has the linear problem where you can't go to different kingdoms in different orders. Like Galaxy, you get to pick where you go, but the levels themselves are more linear. This is like the kingdoms are great, but you can't pick the order, so that's its flaw. But the actual gameplay itself is super good. It's really satisfying capturing stuff and like finding where all the moons are and whatnot. It's a really good game. Obviously, my S tier is bloated. But I think those are top 5 casual Mario games. I am happy with the top 5, I just don't know if they should all be S tier. Yeah, S minus, basically. This is like perfect 2D Mario. This is like super polished, but like linear levels, super polished, linear overworld. Perfect video game. And then this is like super duper good, but doesn't feel as like absolutely groundbreaking. If you wanted me to throw in some spin-offs, I can throw in some that I've played. Here, let's find like Paper Mario, or like Yoshi's Island. This game is so good. Dude, this game is like the most beautiful video game that has ever been made. Just stare at it. Luigi's Mansion, I love Luigi's Mansion. It's like very much not the same genre at all, but like, it's like here. Mario Kart games, oh, that's a separate tier. I'm not putting any Mario Karts on here, because that's we'll start fires. This game obviously is like way up here. You know, somewhere. Superstar Saga, dude, I love that game too. It's like there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just randomly throwing some in case you were curious. Super Mario Maker 2, I think, sick video game. Lets you do so much. Lets you make puzzles. Lets you race people. Whatever you want. Obviously an S tier video game. Just a separate thing to talk about. Okay, let's return them all down. Oh, I gotta chronological this. Ready for me to flex my Mario knowledge? Okay, wait, I didn't need to put them down there. I needed to put them here. Now it is time for the speedrunning tier list. This will look very different. Super Mario Bros. Speedrunning game. Objectively, it's probably lower, but for me, I'm gonna rank it A, I think, because it has a really interesting, unique thing to it where you can literally just do a perfect run. You say, here's what an 1858 Warpless would look like. I have to execute exactly this with no mistakes, and you do it. Same with any percent, obviously. 8-4 is like the only thing different. I might move it down, we'll see. But it's way up there for me, obviously. There's some bias there. This game is SMB1, but actually just perfect. Which is weird that I would rank it here, because it's SMB1, except you can't be perfect. This one was cool until we got to that level, and then it was like, I need something more, make it harder, so I can't be perfect anymore. I think Lost Levels D4 Warpless, which is all levels, I think it is the best 2D Mario speedrun. Super Mario Bros. 2 for speedrunning? Yeah, that game's sick. There's so many cool strategies with, like, picking up enemies. There's a lot you can do with that. You can use them as platforms. You can jump off of them. You can do cool boss kills with them. You can use them to clip through the floor. Every single character gets used in the Warpless speedrun, depending on what level. So yeah, really cool speed game. Super Mario Bros. 3, I think this is a great speedrunning game, but would I speedrun it? Absolutely not. I mean, I have, but like, I wouldn't put as much time into it as I have others. The cutscenes and RNG are so annoying to me. You could play perfectly and get such bad luck that you just won't get the world record, and that sucks. The longer the category, the less RNG based it is, but then the more autoscrollers you have. So I don't know, it's really stupid. Super Mario Land. This game is unfortunately just kind of simple. So you're just running to the right and jumping. The physics are pretty wacky. And then the real problem is that it's also very RNG based, if you don't know. There's like a little mini game that happens at the end of levels, or at the end of worlds. And because it's so short, that time loss, it's just the end of the run. It's like if you played SMB1, but at the end of every level, there was just like a 1 in 3 chance you got to keep playing. Like, it's just really stupid. Super Mario World. This game is good for speedrunning, but it's like missing something. There's not enough like tech that you build up to for my taste. Like, anyone can who's just decent at platforming can pick this game up and like run through the first level perfectly, like first try. And yeah, obviously there's super difficult levels with like flying with the cape, like in narrow spaces and like keeping your speed and all that, but it just doesn't have like what I want. And this is my tier list. Super Mario Land 2. This game looks really cool in speedrunning. It does have a little bit of RNG, but it's not huge. Like there's a witch boss that costs you a couple seconds if you get bad luck. And then every time you enter water, your speed is like different and you have to jump out and get back in or something. I don't know, that's kind of weird. But in my opinion, I would much prefer to play it over World in terms of like something I could see myself putting lots of time into. 64. All right, Sunshine. I'll gush about that game at the end once we get them all. Sunshine, this game has very, very good movement. Very good game for speedrunning. Except, of all the 3D Marios, it by far has the most cutscenes and RNG. And I know that they have recently sort of fixed the cutscenes issue. I mean, there's still plenty of them, but in general, as a speed game, if you're gonna be like that, and you're gonna have that much RNG like this game has, it's not for me. The movement is super good, but it's kind of like Mario 3 in that sense. Here, I'll do this. New Super Mario Bros. DS. This is interesting because this game has a blue shell you want to get at the start, so there's some RNG, but you can manipulate it. The levels themselves are pretty satisfying to move through, and it's not too easy to get a perfect time. I'm probably putting it there. Galaxy. There's some satisfying stuff, but the movement is a little lackluster in my opinion. It's just kind of long jumping. Every time you land, it like kills all your speed, which is frustrating. There's obviously some really cool like wall jump and spins. This one has less gravity stuff. It does have some gravity stuff, but yeah, maybe right there. Okay, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. This game has a problem that New Super Mario Bros. Doesn't. Is too easy to control. I'll say it. It is too easy to control this game for my taste in a speedrun. There's some really hard strats, like the Bowser Jr. boss you have to fight near the end. You have to do like frame perfect hits on him or something. Honestly, that's not a good thing because it's just like one really stupid part that I think a lot of people get frustrated with. It's kind of interesting, but if that's all it has going for it, I think it's too simple, yeah. Galaxy 2. I enjoyed speedrunning Galaxy 1 better than 2, but that was just because I liked Galaxy 1 more. Galaxy 2 is probably like cooler for a speedrun. I don't know. They're basically the same. Super Mario 3D Land. This game's way up here. If you have not seen speedruns of it, it's so sick. The movement it lets you do and all the skips you get to do. When you play the longer categories and you get to play Luigi, you can do the hyperspeed strats. As Mario, you can do hyperspeed strats, but Luigi is like way crazier and no one's even gotten there. Like, this game's very untapped potential. Yeah, 3D Lands, the speedrun community is really hurt because it's on 3DS, so it's super hard to record and no one wants to play it. If I had $1 for every person that said I'd play that if it wasn't on 3DS, I'd be swimming in cash. But that's still a lot if you think about it. New Super Mario Bros. 2. Anytime I describe a cool trick in this level, it's an auto-scroller skip. Or in this game. There's like a platform you're supposed to ride and you get to fly past it. Or there's this tunnel where like the blocks fly towards you and you land on them, but you can fly past it. Or there's like a part where platforms slowly appear for you to jump on and you can fly past it. And like, the game has so many auto-scrollers. Half the run is auto-scrollers and the other half is skipping auto-scrollers. And it's kind of dumb. Because it does have those cool skips, I would put it above Wii, but I'm leaving it right there. New Super Mario Bros. U. I don't think I know this game well enough, but it's kind of like this one, but acorn instead of propeller, so just worse. 3D World. This game, more potential than 3D Land, but I personally don't like it as much. There are a lot of strats where you need to use the touchscreen, or if you're on Switch, you would use gyro controls to be optimal, and that kind of drags it down for me. But like the 4 characters and the way you move in this game is so sick. Also, one of the coolest tricks in any speedrun I've seen is in 3D World on the Wii U version. You can get out of bounds on the overworld, and it's useful in the speedrun because it lets you like go to a level that normally you don't have unlocked yet. It's so cool, like coolest trick in any speedrun almost. Okay, Mario Odyssey. Shoot, this is hard. My S tier's getting bloated again. When you watch a top Odyssey player, from standstill, they do like spin pound, like sideways cap throw or whatever to keep speed, and then they're just instantly going fast, and then they're like wall jump, cap throw, bounce, spin jump, ground pound. Like, they're just doing a lot of actions really fast, and it's really good. But unfortunately, a lot of those actions are rolling, which looks like this. I did do some of the Koopa free runs, and even just doing those, like, it did not feel good to constantly shake the controller. And I can't imagine the people that are grinding any percent in this, like, it's gotta be really annoying to have to constantly do that. Motion controls suck, that's gotta drag it down. Because objectively, I think it's like, here or here. But like, in my opinion, it's like there. How willing I am to like actually play the game more, probably like there. Actually, I probably would play Sunshine. I don't know. Okay, I'm leaving it right there. There's my speedrunning tier list for all the mainline Mario games. Nothing's in F tier because I think they're all decent speed games. F means bad. None of them are bad. Once again, you can say very different things about how to objectively order them. Super Mario World can get very cool at high level, but it's not my thing. Sunshine, obviously one of like the best movement games ever. It's like here, but also there's tons of jank and cutscenes and RNG, and it sucks. So, I don't know. Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't explain SM64. Time to gush. Let's explain why it's better than all the other ones. They just like went way harder than they had to. They made tons of movement options. There's no other game that has slide kicks and break dance. It has more than any other game. The way you transition from like sliding on a hill to sliding on the ground. You can slide on your belly. There's just so many options. And you can do like whatever you want. The way wall kicks work is great. Also, yeah, it has BLJ, one of the best glitches ever. So yeah, it's just a great game, dude.